Okay, so picture this. You're sitting at your computer, but instead of like painstakingly designing a character or building a world, you just tell it what you want.
Hmm.
Dragon,
Yeah.
done sprawling medieval city.
Wow.
Boom, entire galaxy teeming with bizarre life forms.
Yeah.
No problem. Your wish is AI's command.
It's a fascinating idea, and honestly, not as far-fetched as it sounds.
Right.
What we're seeing is a convergence of just incredible computing power with increasingly sophisticated algorithms that can translate your ideas into digital reality.
And that is what today's deep dive is all about.
Okay.
We're going to explore 3 companies on the absolute bleeding edge of AI content creation, the kind of stuff that'll make you question what's real and what's a computer program.
I'm ready.
Ready to have your mind blown?
Always.
All right, let's jump into the thick of it with DreamWorld, the Infinite Sandbox MMO. Now, any gamer worth their salt has heard whispers of this game, and it's about to drop a playtest on Steam. But forget the hype for a second and think about what they're actually trying to do. An endlessly generated world on a single server.
That's the part that's really got my attention.
Right.
Think about the scale of that. Every player, every monster, every fluttering leaf, all interacting in real time on one massive digital playground. Even without AI, that's a technical feat.
Right. It's like trying to cram the entire universe into a shoebox, but somehow they seem to be making it work.
Yeah.
And get this, they're using AI for the creation process.
Oh, wow.
Imagine describing your dream boss, monster, tentacles, lasers, you name it, and the game just builds it.
Texa 3D is making waves across tech right now.
Yeah.
But most applications are more about generating static images. Seeing it in a live dynamic environment like DreamWorld, that's next level.
Right.
And this isn't some random startup either. Garrison Bellick, the CEO, he's got background in AI for self-driving cars.
Okay. That's kind of perfect when you think about it.
Right.
Self-driving cars need to navigate incredibly complex real-time environments, constantly adjusting to new information. Sounds a lot like managing a constantly evolving online world with thousands of players.
Exactly. That experience could be invaluable. DreamWorld's ambition is off the charts, so it'll be fascinating to see if their tech can keep up. This playtest should give us a glimpse into the future of game development. Mark your calendars, folks. October 10th, DreamWorld, the Infinite Sandbox MMO on Steam.
I'm already clearing my schedule. But okay, enough about gaming. Let's talk about something a little closer to home, or at least to our phones, because we all know social media isn't going anywhere. But what if AI could take over the heavy lifting, turning your website into a full-blown video marketing campaign?
That's what Captions is aiming for.
Okay.
And it's not just about churning out generic content. The idea is that the AI can analyze your website, understand your brand's voice, and then create targeted videos designed to resonate with your audience.
And they're not talking about some clunky slideshow with stock footage. We're talking custom-made videos complete with music, graphics, even AI-generated characters that can act as your brand ambassadors.
A bold strategy, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And for small businesses, especially those without dedicated marketing teams, it could be a game changer. Imagine being able to compete on a level playing field with larger companies, all thanks to the power of AI.
No more cheesy stock photos of people in suits shaking hands.
Right.
Sign me up. But seriously, though, it makes you wonder, will audiences buy it? Will they connect with a brand represented by a virtual spokesperson?
That's the million-dollar question. Captions is betting that by giving businesses the tools to create high-quality content quickly and affordably, the potential benefits will outweigh any skepticism about authenticity.
Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure. Captions is riding the wave of AI content creation, and it's going to be fascinating to see where they land.
Speaking of making waves, we can't talk about AI content creation without mentioning the 800-pound gorilla in the room, Meta. And they've got a new trick up their sleeve that has everyone buzzing.
That's an understatement. We're talking about Movie Gen, and let me tell you, it's not just some fancy video editing software.
Yeah.
This thing is like having a Hollywood studio at your fingertips. And it's not just about creating videos, it's about understanding them on a whole other level.
What's remarkable is Meta's approach. Instead of building one giant AI model to handle every aspect of video creation, they've developed separate interconnected models for video, audio, and even personalized editing.
So instead of one massive AI brain trying to do it all, we've got these specialized AI modules all working together. Why is that such a big deal?
Because it allows for a level of nuance and control we haven't seen before. Think about it. Video, audio editing, those are all complex fields on their own. By developing specialized AI for each element, Meta is creating a system that can understand and manipulate media in ways we've only dreamed of.
So in theory, you could give Movie Gen a text prompt like, Make the dragon scarier, add some dramatic music, and give the whole scene a more epic feel, and it could actually make those changes.
That's the idea. And the early demos are pretty mind-blowing. They've even got a feature that can take a still image of a person and, based on a text prompt, generate a video of that person speaking or acting at a scene.
Hold on, so theoretically I could have a video of myself giving a TED Talk on quantum physics, even if I can barely pronounce quantum?
Theoretically, yes.
Yeah.
Although whether or not the information in that TED Talk would be accurate is a different story.
Right, good point. AI can mimic, but it can't replace actual knowledge yet. But speaking of AI pushing boundaries, remember those Meta Ray-Bans? The ones that can already take pictures and videos.
The ones that sparked a whole debate about wearable cameras and privacy.
Yes.
I think we all remember those.
Well, buckle up because they're about to get a whole lot more interesting and potentially controversial. Meta is rolling out a massive AI upgrade that turns these glasses into, well, an extension of your brain.
It's certainly a bold move. They're calling it AI augmentation. And the core concept is to have the glasses constantly scanning your environment, recognizing objects, faces, locations, and then using that information to assist you in ways we haven't even imagined.
Okay, so far that sounds kind of cool, but also kind of creepy. Give me an example. What kind of assistance are we talking about?
Imagine walking down the street and seeing a restaurant you've been meaning to try. The glasses could recognize it, pull up the menu, even show on reviews from friends. Or, let's say you're at a conference and you meet someone new. The glasses could identify them, remind you of where you met, before even pull up their LinkedIn profile.
Okay, I have to admit, that's pretty slick. It's like having a personal assistant who knows everything and everyone. But that's a lot of information for a device to be collecting, even if it is Meta we're talking about.
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Where do we draw the line between helpful assistance and invasive surveillance?
Yeah.
These new Ray-Bans are packed with sensors, cameras, microphones, even eye-tracking technology. They're going to be collecting an unprecedented amount of data about our lives.
And that data isn't just floating around in the ether. It's being processed, analyzed, potentially used to predict our behavior, target us with ads, who knows what else. It's like that whole data privacy debate on steroids.
Exactly. And it's a debate we need to have sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
Because this technology is coming whether we're ready for it or not.
Hmm.
And while Meta assures us that all data is encrypted and anonymized, history has taught us to be cautious when companies make promises about our personal information.
Okay, so on one hand, we've got potentially life-changing assistance, like being able to remember where you left your keys just by asking your glasses. But on the other hand, we've got Big Brother on steroids, potentially tracking our every move and thought. It's a lot to process.
It is. And it highlights a fundamental tension at the heart of the AI revolution. As these technologies become more powerful, more intertwined with our lives, we have to ask ourselves, what are we willing to give up in exchange for convenience, for entertainment, for a glimpse of what this technology might be capable of?
It's like we're standing at a crossroads, and the choices we make today are going to determine the kind of future we wake up to tomorrow.
Precisely. And those choices aren't just about technology. They're about our values, our priorities, and what it means to be human in a world increasingly shaped by artificial intelligence.
It's almost like we need like a whole new ethical playbook, a
Yeah.
set of guidelines for how we develop and interact with these AI systems. Because it's not just about privacy anymore. It's about what happens to our sense of self, our understanding of the world when AI is involved.
It's a fascinating and crucial point. We often focus on the immediate risks of AI, like job displacement or misuse of data. But the subtler long-term effects on our cognition, our relationships, our very identities, those are the conversations we need to be having now.
And it can't just be tech people having these conversations, right? This impacts everyone.
Absolutely. This isn't just about code and algorithms. It's about philosophy, sociology, psychology.
These artists, ethicists, educators, everyone at the table to ensure AI enhances our humanity, not diminishes it.
Okay, so we've talked about AI building game worlds, crafting marketing campaigns, even augmenting our memories. But there's one last twist in this AI tale that I think might just top it all.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
Remember how we were talking about the flood of information, how it's getting harder to tell what's real and what's AI generated?
Yeah. Whoa, what if I told you AI could help us solve that very problem?
Okay, now that's a fascinating thought. How so?
There are companies out there, and I'm not exaggerating, developing AI that can actually detect whether something was made by a human or by another AI.
We're talking about AI that can spot deepfakes, identify synthetic text, essentially act as a truth filter for the digital age.
Exactly. It's like having a built-in BS detector for the internet.
That's incredibly promising, especially as AI-generated content gets more sophisticated. But it also raises a whole new set of questions. Who controls this truth filter? What criteria does it use to determine authenticity?
Right, because what if the AI gets it wrong?
Right.
Or worse, what if it's intentionally biased?
It's a double-edged sword, no doubt. But I think the very fact that we're developing AI to counter the potential downsides of AI speaks to a growing awareness of the challenges and a desire to find solutions.
It's like we're in a race against ourselves, constantly pushing the boundaries of what AI can do while simultaneously trying to build in safeguards to protect us from our own creations.
A race with incredibly high stakes, to be sure. But ultimately, I believe that by embracing both the potential and the peril of AI, by fostering open dialogue and collaboration, we can harness this technology to create a more informed, more equitable, and ultimately more humane future.
On that note, we've reached the end of our deep dive into the world of AI content creation, from building virtual worlds to augmenting our memories. We've covered a lot of ground today. It's a wild, exhilarating, and frankly sometimes terrifying landscape out there. But one thing is certain, AI is here to stay, and it's up to us to shape its impact on our lives and the world we share.
The future of AI is not predetermined. It's written in the choices we make today. And hopefully this deep dive has given you some food for thought as you navigate this brave new world.
Until next time, stay curious, keep asking questions, and remember the most important deep dive you'll ever take is the one into your own understanding.